Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Just Candid. My name is Femi Odere. I'm going to make a slight detour in this video, a sort of a digression from what my core objective is, and that is to articulate the accomplishments of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu going into the 2027 election. It is a slight digression because of what has become our national conversation since a few days ago, and that is the so-called coalition that has now found a home in the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. And this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm not going to join the bandwagon that questions the existence of this so-called crowd and their and finding a home in ADC because in a representative democracy, they do have the right to vote and be voted for. But I just believe that this is another form of madness. But I also want to tell you that there's a method to that madness. Trust Nigerians, they have given ADC several names in the last few days that they announced to us that they have arrived. Some have called them the Association of Disgruntled Candidates. Some Nigerians have called them the Association of Rejected Candidate. Some have labeled them as the Association of Displaced Candidate, and so on and so forth. I think I'm going to throw my own name into the mix here, and I call them the Alliance of Degenerate Confucianists. Yes, it is an alliance, no doubt. Are they degenerate politicians? Of course they are degenerate politicians because they have no moral standing to want to even contest any election again in this country based on their antecedent, based on the fact that they have failed woefully in the assignments, in the national assignments they were given. Atiku having been the vice president, some having been governors, ministers, and so on and so forth. Are they Confucianists? Yes, I believe they are Confucianists because they are confused with the way they are going about trying to wrestle power from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, despite the fact that he's performing wonderfully well. It is madness to want to take over power in 2027. Let me quickly take you down memory lane as to the genesis of this coalition that has now found a home in ADC, and I wager that it is a temporary home because I don't think it is over yet. I have no doubt in my mind that they are going to be kicked out eventually from ADC. Remember, they told us that they were going to use the People's Democratic Party as their special purpose vehicles to contest the 2027 election, only for PDP to tell them that they're not interested in them because they're just sick and tired of their shenanigans. And so consequently, they were rebuffed. The next thing we had was that they have sent Malam Nasiru El-Rufai to the Social Democratic Party. It's sort of a reconnaissance mission to see if the SDP was going to be habitable enough for them. Malam Nasiru arrived at the front yard of SDP and told his compatriots to come and join him in SDP. So we waited for about a few weeks and nobody showed up. SDP didn't even allow Malam Nasiru El-Rufai to come into the living room to sit down for a few seconds, not to talk of going into the bedroom to put down his luggage before they kicked him out. Nasiru left with his tail between his legs, and then we had that there was a secret deal between them and this same ADC, but it seems as if the price wasn't right then. So it was not long after that they told us that they were going to form and register a new political party, only for INEC to tell them that, look, guys, you still have a long way to go when it comes to registering a political party. These are people who have spent virtually all their adult lives in politics, yet they do not know how to register a political party. That says a lot about their competence. And then the next thing we had was that they have now found a home in the African Democratic Congress, which is where they are presently. Now, let us ask ourselves, what are the real reasons why they have decided that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to be a one-term president? They have not given us any reason in terms of the policies of this government other than to tell us in this several interview that, oh, Tinubu is just bad. He's the worst president Nigeria has ever had. Tinubu's cabinet is the worst and incompetent. Tinubu shouldn't have done this. Tinubu shouldn't have done that. Tinubu has taken the collective patrimony of Nigeria to Lagos. They just give several nonsensical excuses. They even said that, oh, Tinubu should not have removed the fuel subsidy. What this is all about is nothing other than hate and rage. Now, let us quickly look at the dramatis personae of this so-called coalition. Of course, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is there. He's not going to be in any coalition if he's not going to get a ticket. So we know that much about him. And Peter Gregory Obi is also there. I have mentioned Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, Chibuke Amechi, the former Minister of Transportation during the government of Muhammadu Buhari, is also a member. Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola is a member. David Mark, the former Senate President, is also a member. Senator Aminu Tambua, Dele Momodu, the beret-wearing Solomon Dalong, another clown, and of course Alhaji Sule Lamido and Chief John Odige Oyegun. So these are the personalities that have gathered themselves into a coalition that they are now saying that they want to rescue Nigeria. We now know that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not going to be in any coalition that is not going to get his ticket. So more than likely, the ticket will belong to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. More so that some of them, including Dele Momodu, already told us that it is only a northerner that can give President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a run for his money going into the 2027 presidential election. So if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is going to get a ticket, it goes without saying that Peter Obi is going to be his running mate. So what that means is that they believe in their own mind, stupidly that is, that with the votes that Alhaji Atiku had in 2023 and that of Peter Obi in the same presidential election, they were going to defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. Now, I don't know much about politics, but what I know is that no election is the same. If you hold election every month now for the next 12 months, you are not going to get the same result. You are going to get different results. So what makes them believe that they will still get about approximate number of votes that both of them got in 2023 and use that to defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains to be seen. In this scenario that I just painted, where does that leave Chibuke Amechi? because he already told us that he has presidential ambition. He said he only wants to spend the remaining 4 years of his southern president. So at least he believes that a southerner should be given the right to be president of this country for 8 years before the position shifts back to the north. We thank God for little mercies. He's a peer of David Mark and Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola as the interim national chairman and the interim national secretary of ADC, respectively. Now, David Mark it was who told us in no uncertain terms that he was going to personally shoot MKO Abiola if he was declared president in 1993. So this is a man who never wanted democracy in the first instance, who declared that he was going to do everything, including taking MKO Abiola out. And this is the man now that Aregbesola is in the same political bed with. The same Aregbesola who went through so much, and some people actually paid the supreme price in the struggle to reclaim his mandate. Sometimes you get to a point in life where after identifying your values and the things that you cherish the most, regardless of your bitterness, there are some people that you will just tell yourself that there's no way you can be in the same camp with these people. And that's the way I expect Aregbesola to see this situation. Being in the same political camp with David Mark, it beggars belief. Sometimes when I try to figure out what would have been driving Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola in his hatred of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I cannot think of anything else other than to say perhaps it is a D or Asasi. Please don't ask me the English interpretation of a D or Asasi because I don't know. So, and there is the jester, the clown, Solomon Dalong, who told us not too long ago that Tinubu is already gone, even if he makes his son the next chairman. How stupid. Sometimes some people are so stupid and they cannot even see how stupid their stupidity has become. So what is driving these people is nothing other than hate and rage. Here's what Dele Momodu told us in an interview he granted a challenge, I believe, a few days ago. And he said the coalition has been in the works for the past 18 months. 18 months? So that means that Tinubu was already about 4 or 5 months into his presidency when they started planning his ouster. So you have to ask yourself, what was he saying? What did he do? What could he have done in 4 to 5 months for them to have sworn that he wasn't going to come back in 2027? The only thing he did was the removal of subsidy. So what that means too is that they never wanted the subsidy to be removed in the first place. Now that we have seen the faces behind the masquerades, I just believe it is time that these people that have been tormenting Nigeria are retired permanently. They will not do anything good. They are already set in their ways, and nothing good can ever come out of them. I'm just being candid. I see you next time, folks. Bye for now.